Back in studio with head coach Aaron Harper of the defending provincial champions, the Lloydminster Barons, who get set to defend their titles starting this week against Westlock before some exhibition play separates that and their rematch with the Holy Rosary Raiders. I'm sure everyone will be looking forward to that. As we said in the last segment, you do have a weird situation of having to play only a couple of games before playing the Raiders, but also not having a lot of exhibition play heading into your league games.
Yeah, it's right. It's that's honestly, that's football. Like you have to prepare based on the schedule. So if we have to play a really good team early on, then we kind of have to install things early and make sure things are rolling early. If you feel like you can work your way up to it, well, you can take things a little bit slower and be more cautious. But the schedule is what the schedule is, and it's up to our coaching staff to figure it out and make it work for our guys.
Do you want then to have a couple of more exhibition games in coming weeks, or because you're into the thralls of the schedule that it's better to just lay off a little bit so guys can rest in between games?
So we don't have any off weeks. We have 1 week that's a bye week based on the schedule, but we'll play another team here from Lacombe that'll come down, and we'll play them, that's end of September, early October.
Okay, and that obviously separates you from a month away from the league final. Where curious about that league final? Do you think there's a chance that one of the teams, such as Bonnyville or Wainwright, has a chance of maybe making things a little closer with you guys?
For
Obviously,
sure.
Bonnyville had some close games with you.
Absolutely, yeah, a lot of talent in this league. Like I think you look at the last 2 provincial finals when we went down to Fort McMurray. The year before we were in Lacombe. Tier 2, Tier 3, Tier 4 all had representatives from the Wheatland. So I think there's good football. Like it's not just us and Holy Rosary that are playing good football. There's good football across the league. So yeah, any given Friday or Saturday, any team could beat any team.
Now we've talked briefly a little bit about the fact that you have a move coming up after this season's done, but your attitude has essentially been, which I'm sure your players agree with, is
That's
just
right.
simply you're not looking to focus on that at all until you've officially finished with this season.
That's right,
and then have some time in between.
Yeah, of course, that's always it's an exciting move, and my family's excited about it. But we're just going to focus on Westlock on Thursday and take it from there.
And now this is not in the realm of local sports, but I've wanted to talk to someone who's in the scene. And so Andrew Luck's retirement caught everyone by surprise this weekend.
That's right.
And not only because of the timing in which it happened during the game, but also the age, of course, of this quarterback and just how promising he still is. People are expecting, another 7 years of a future Hall of Famer's career.
Sure.
What was your reaction when you heard?
Honestly, I was, so you're in shock, but I wasn't totally surprised. I've been following Andrew Luck since really his first year at Stanford. I'm a big Stanford Cardinal fan. And he's just he's never really done anything that, the typical football player does. So it wasn't a huge surprise that he would do something like that. I know he's really been battling injuries. That's probably really frustrating. He's a really smart guy, seems very cerebral. I think it seems like his football life's going to be, or his life after football, is going to be pretty exciting. Whatever he chooses to do. And I think it just comes to the point where, you're a 29-year-old guy, you're banged up, you're constantly injured, you've made your money. I think he just looked at his family and his life and took a step back. But it's hard to understand why someone would leave all those hundreds of millions sitting on the table when you could just play a game that kids play for fun. But I think really hard to judge a guy based on not being one of those guys who makes hundreds of millions of dollars playing the sport. So don't really blame him. We're going to miss him. He's a great football player, and the football fan community will miss him because he's awesome. But can't blame a guy for that, taking care of his family and taking care of his body.
Do you think this is something you might see again more often now that more guys, they know they can make money outside of football with the advertisements? You think you'll see more guys retire early?
Well, it seems like he's far from the first guy to do it. I mean,
that's true.
Like Calvin Johnson did it.
Yeah.
He was 30. Barry Sanders did it. A lot of guys sort of that 29, 30, if they struggle with injuries, it seems like they don't want to go through the rehab and don't want to go through the struggles of dealing with injuries. And they've made their money, and they know that there's more to life than football. So, they just step away.
And certainly anyone can appreciate someone who wants to spend more time with their wife and kids.
Yeah, true.